Emmanuel, thank you so much for sharing your insights, your experiences. We've had in studio Ambassador Erastus Mwencha, former AUC Deputy Chair, former COMESA SG. The accolades are many. But as he said, he's known Raila since 1970s. This is the 1970s.
74.
74. We've also had in studio Dr. Kenneth Ombongi, historian and Associate Dean.
Yes, I'm an Associate Dean in the Faculty of Arts and Social Science at the University of Nairobi now.
Yes.
Former Chair of the Department of History and Archaeology. All
right. Na mwalimu wa Masigi. I've been your host, Olive Burrows, but coming up, we'll have Rashid Abdallah and Lulu Hassan. But even as we pay tribute to Raila Odinga, we leave you with this images coming out of Opoda farm in Bondo.
Mama Aida, eti umeenda, tambiaje Winnie Odinga.
entrance to a home is the gate that faces the entrance of the house. It has to be a straight path from the gate to the house itself. The expectation has been that that is the path that will be followed. We'll wait to see what exactly happens, to just confirm what we are hearing from those that understand the culture of the Luo community more. But it's been quite an afternoon here of the very requirement by members of the public to have that opportunity. Many among them government officials, including Principal Secretary for Higher Education, Dr. Beatrice Inyangala, who has just come and viewed the body, among the last persons to do so. The last minute rush here, as you may see it, of a few members of the public who one will not know where they were, knowing that there's been enough time for people to come and pay their respects. The security officers were fearing that some of them could actually be repeating this process, saying that some had actually gotten an opportunity. So what you're seeing now are the final minutes of this entire process, so that we can see what else happens. And just to remind you that in the morning, once the body spends the night in the home of Raila Odinga, in the morning it is expected to be moved to the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology for the interment service, which is scheduled to begin from the hour of 9 o'clock. And the hope is that by 1 o'clock it will have been concluded. There will be a funeral service led by members of the church, the Anglican Church of Kenya. We were there at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology for the preparations that were being conducted, and now that process has come to a conclusion in readiness for this service, funeral service, interment service in honor of Raila Odinga. Shortly after the conclusion of that service at the university, then the procession of the body will be taken to Kango Ka Jaramogi. Of course, many things had been expected, that the body would be moved by road, as had been the announcement on the first day by the State Funeral Committee that is led by the Deputy President. But later on, adjustments were made and the announcement made because the expectation had been that the body would be moved from Kisumu to Bondo via road, but that was changed, respecting the fact that time was of the essence, but at the same time the numbers that were milling around that entire route going all the way to Bondo, and obviously the very many members of the public that are waiting to view the body here at the Opoda farm, those adjustments were sufficient and were important, were crucial to ensure that there is an opportunity for everyone who arrives here to view the body. What we know is that even tomorrow, there are plans on how the body will be moved from the Jaramogi University, but also moving to the Kango Ka Jaramogi for the burial rites. But we'll wait to see what exactly happens eventually when the process meets reality. But for sure, that interment will happen tomorrow. We were able to see the gravesite earlier in the morning, and the work was continuing to make sure that the final home of Raila Odinga is ready as soon as the time for interment is here. The engineer there, Maurice Akech, was telling us that they are hoping that by tomorrow, the hours before afternoon, they will have an opportunity to conclude that particular process to ensure that the site is ready. Obviously, you'll understand the much work that has gone into this, from the digging of the grave up until the chance for them to build it. And what we know is that they are doing everything possible, as Engineer Kech was telling us, to ensure that that tomb will have the integrity, the strength to withstand any kind of pressure that may come on the day, but also naturally from the soil surrounding it. So in a minute now, they will be closing the casket. The announcer here is saying that people are abusing the access and viewing the body once more. Now he's asking members of the public to push away to allow this process. Let me just allow you to hear what is going on by giving you the sound.
Na itikadi rasmi za idara ya ulinzi.
Right, so a few consultations going on before the closing of the casket can be effected so that they can conclude the viewing here, a process that is really very well guarded by members of the Kenya Defense Forces, including military police who have also been here. And of course, the entire process very well taken care of by security officers from the National Police Service, from the Kenya Defense Forces, and others who are helping with maintaining order, making sure that nobody gets hurt, nobody gets improperly exposed, but also ensuring that members of the public get that great opportunity to pay their final respects to the fallen leader. So what we are seeing now is still some consultation on how the
Tafadhali tusonge nyuma kama tunavyoelekezwa na maafisa wa usalama. Songa nyuma kila mmoja. Songa nyuma, peana nafasi.
Right, the announcer continues to request for people to allow a space, because as soon as this is done, then the body will be moved to the hearse that is just behind us. We'll be able to show you as soon as that happens. And the expectation, like I told you, is to move the body to the side of the homestead of Raila Odinga. Quite an afternoon here, and we also see representation from the clergy, the chaplains, from the Kenya Defense Forces. We see the Kenya Air Force, the Kenya Navy, and the Kenya Army representatives here because this is a state funeral and an opportunity that has been accorded by the government of Kenya and to give this important final honors to Raila Odinga. A few people there here, members of the immediate family, getting their chance to view the body and expecting that the body will then be moved to the house where it will spend the night. And now the action is here. Members of the Kenya Defense Forces.
Wale munafika, tafadhali musimamie hapo kwanza. Musimamie hapo kwanza. Musimamie hapo kwanza, wananchi wapendwa. Erokamano. Erokamano.
You see, the solemn moment for the Kenya Defense Forces closing the casket for that transition as they make their final consultations on how best to move from here to the vehicle that is waiting to move the body to its next destination, and the military very keen to ensure that they wipe out the dust that the casket may have accumulated during its stay here this afternoon for the viewing. Still, as they do that, it is a symbol of honor to this leader that touched many lives in Kenya and beyond, seeing friends of the family coming to condole with the family of Raila Odinga, from the family of Morgan Changirai, former opposition leader of Zimbabwe, whose spouse was here to condole with Mama Ida Odinga,